Hello there everybody and welcome back to Magna Carta 2. In the last video we started exploring the city of Belfort and we have a whole heck of a lot of a big city to explore. Zephy has been taken to Belfort Castle, but before we go over there, what I'd like to do is explore the eastern side of the map, more specifically the Belfort Ruins. I have a couple of side quests I'd like to take care of, as well as a new side quest that we can pick up in that area. And this is also a great opportunity for us to pick up some chests and to do some grinding. So as you enter the city from the Southern Forces outpost, you can pick up that chest there, which is hidden behind a wall. Sort of cleverly hidden, but as soon as you come up on the platform you can see it in very plain sight. I have defeated most of the monsters in this area before I started the recording. I'm just going to quickly pick up the second chest in the area before moving on. So that we can get exploring, because we're going to be spending a few videos in and around Belfort. So we want to make sure not to waste any sort of time. At the fork here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to head northeast. And the Belfort Ruins were once the place where all of the nobles lived.
Eat my fist of flame.
If you take time to actually look at the city and look at the structures, it is quite amazing. I can imagine that this place was really quite beautiful when it was a city, but unfortunately now it's completely in ruins, and you're gonna have to deal with seedfall as well as enemies as you make your way through. So keeping the seedfall in mind, it's definitely recommended to have Judo and Argo in your party along with one other wizard. That way, you can have Judo and Argo do most of the fighting, and if you need them to do any sort of chaining, they have the con in order to do that. Because they're not wizard, they don't depend on any sort of elemental con, and their con will stay until it's used. With your other wizard that you have in the party, you're going to want to just keep them on the side to do a little bit of additional damage output. Once you've cleared the central part of the Belfort Ruins, what you're going to want to do is head south, so that we can pick up a chest before moving on to the northern part of the ruins. I've also switched Crocell in because the side quest we're going to be picking up actually has to do with him. Crocell's talked a little bit about how he used to live in the area, so this is all probably some really bad deja vu for him, because I imagine that this city was destroyed at the beginning of the Civil War, which was a few years ago, to my understanding. And it looks like it's just getting worse and worse. This place doesn't look like it's going to be getting better anytime soon. But maybe the castle's still intact. It's going to be interesting to see if there's anything nice looking, so to speak, in the area. Although I highly doubt it. Wishful thinking though, I suppose. Now that we've cleared out all the enemies, we're going to pick up the chest, which has a necklace of experience. There are a lot of chests in the Belfort area, and it's definitely worth scouring and exploring in order to find the chests, because at this point we're getting pretty far into the game, and so the commons and accessories and items that are available to us are at a much higher level, and so the loot you're gonna get is gonna be much better as well. Alright, so once we've entered to the northern part of Belfort Ruins, we have some more enemies to fight before we're able to move on here. But this is a great opportunity to get experience. As you can see here, the thieves really aren't difficult to fight. It doesn't take very long, and you get a wicked amount of experience, almost 1,000, so we're going to be fighting in this area for quite a period of time, and I imagine that we're going to be able to get quite a few levels. I did do a little bit of grinding off screen, and I was able to gain a level with each character fairly easily. I really didn't have to do a lot of grinding, so that was sort of nice. And I am taking the time to revel in the fact that we don't have to fight Northern Forces soldiers, because that is going to be coming up soon. So I'm just gonna, you know, take the time to enjoy the fact that I don't have to fight them right now. The soldiers aren't in the eastern part of the city. They're gonna be more towards the northwestern part as we near Belfort Castle. And from what I remember, we are going to be seeing some new variation of soldiers as well, so we're going to see a little bit of new, a little bit of old. And once you've cleared out the area and you've come to the northernmost part here, you can explore this house that's on the map.
This is it. This is my house. This is the Reedon family manor. It's not much to look at now, though.
Family Manor. You mentioned something about that when we met Marith earlier, didn't you?
Well, we were just lower nobility. But we produced generations of fire wizards. My father also worked with the military sometimes. Ever since I was a little boy, I was trained in all aspects of wizardry. That's why I can manipulate fire at will now. That reminds me. I remembered something just now. This manor has a secret locked door in it. It's got a simple mechanism. It won't open unless you use fire wizardry. There might be something left in there. No one but my father knew where it was. Let's go look for it.
Alright, so this is Crocell's house, and it's sort of interesting, and it really does stand out, even if you're not expecting that side quest to take place, because it's really the only home in the area that has withstood time, so to speak. You know, for the most part, it's pretty much intact, and Crocell may be lower nobility, but that's a pretty big house, all things considered. Anywho, in order to open the door, what you're going to want to do is walk around the map using Crocell. And you're going to want to light these 4 torches in order to open the door.
Oh, come on. The lock was that simple? What was my father thinking? Good grief. You don't even have to use wizardry. It'll open if you simply light a fire. Sheesh.
Let's see what's inside.
And you get a really easy 2,000 experience for doing that as well. And inside the door, we find a treasure chest that has cube mail in it, of all things. So let's read these 2 letters. To my son. By the time you see this, I'll probably no longer be in this world. Our Reedon family serves none but our true queen. I can't bring myself to recognize a blood-smeared throne, but it seems my resistance ends here. I've yet to crush their prime minister's treachery, but now he's started purging anyone who opposes him. Considering how you will be left all alone, I have asked someone to take care of things. Find him. He'll be waiting for you in an old cave east of Dunan Field. Now I ask this of you. You are the heir of the Reedons. Please don't bear a grudge from the tragedy caused by my stubbornness. Son, never let the flames of darkness burn in your heart.
He was a worrywart to the very end. Father, you can rest easy. I have friends that I can count on now. I don't fly off the handle and let my emotions rule my actions anymore. Still, I'll never forgive Shuenzite. If we don't put an end to his ambitions, I bet that's what my father would have wanted me to do.
So after reading the letters, we'll get a quest by the name of A Father's Last Request. There is a man with ties to the Reedon family in the Cave of the Hermit to the east of Dunan Field. So we're going to need to look for him. But that quest is going to have to wait for a very long period of time. We're really not going to be able to get to that until we've finished up in Belfort. So just keep that in the back of your mind. And it's a really long, kind of complicated quest, but I really like Crocell as a character, and I really just like learning all the history behind all the characters' past, so I'm definitely going to be doing that quest. And so we get to find out a little bit more about Crocell at a later date. After that, we are done in the Belfort Ruins now. We've picked up all the treasure chests, and we've picked up that quest, so now all there really is left to do is to head towards the castle. And if you're not ready to head towards the castle, or you feel as if you want to go back to the city, then that's always an option as well. Doing all of this fighting, you should not only pick up a lot of experience, but there is also a lot of gold to pick up. So if you weren't able to pick up new weapons, accessories, commons, items, whatever it is that you need, the last time that you were at the city, then this may be an opportunity for you to stock up on supplies. And it's really not a bad idea. Now, I also forgot to mention that there is a fork I could have taken that would take me to the northern part of the map, as you can see there, but we're going to be going there much later, and the only benefits that I would get out of that would be a little bit of additional experience and collecting the chests in the area a little bit earlier, but I don't feel like veering off the beaten path too much at this point. And I think that if we do that later, we're not going to miss out on anything, and so we'll save it for a later date.